Thank you, Rita. Hello and welcome to Look North. On the programme tonight, living with litter, antisocial behaviour and vermin. Residents in a South Yorkshire village say they feel forgotten and left behind.
Rats are a problem too. Even in the daytime they're crossing on my garden. From neighbour to neighbour they go. Even if my garden is clean, they're still coming, rats and big rats as well.
We look at what needs to happen to turn things around. Also tonight, work begins to remove the wreckage of a helicopter that crashed in Doncaster yesterday, killing a passenger. Thousands of people sign a petition to make fireworks quieter as a West Yorkshire MP calls for a change in the law.
And would you like to go bump in the night with me? If so, keep it here on Look North, because we're in South Yorkshire at the house putting the kooky into the spooky this Halloween. All right, mate, keep your hands to yourself.
Some heavy thundery showers for tricking and treating this evening, but what about that all-important weekend forecast? Join me for the very latest.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. In the 70s, a road in Goldthorpe near Barnsley was named Britain's nicest street. Half a decade on, residents in the village have told us their lives are being ruined by rats, vandalism, litter and even arson attacks. Some homes have been earmarked for demolition by the local authority, but in the meantime, homes standing empty have become a magnet for criminals. Phil Bodmer has our top story tonight.
Forlorn and forgotten. Abandoned houses festooned with waste. Used nappies, broken glass, discarded food, plastic and furniture among the rubbish rotting on a residential street in Goldthorpe. Gabby's lived here for 4 years. She doesn't let her 3 children play in the woods at the end of the street because of the rats and the health risks.
The sharps are the problems. Lots of glasses, broken glasses. Sometimes they set fire on the bins, all the messes in there, even furniture, and it's very dangerous. Rats are a problem too. Even in the daytime they're crossing on my garden. From neighbour to neighbour they go. Even if my garden is clean, they're still coming, rats and big rats as well.
And some of the houses here are unoccupied, aren't they? They're not inhabited. Does that cause any issues that some of the properties are vacant?
They were set on fire. Twice, yes, twice. Broken windows. Why you think those cardboards are there? Because people, children, teenagers breaking the windows.
What's it like at night around here?
Usually I have to lock my door twice because 3 years ago, 3 guys break into the house. After a week, they stole my car in the daytime. So, no good at all.
It's a far cry from when residents celebrated Main Street being voted the nicest street in Britain in October 1971. And this was the High Street pictured in 1961.
This is not what Goldthorpe is.
So you feel forgotten and left behind?
Yes, definitely.
Helen, a grandmum, was born and raised here. She stays with relatives rather than at home at night on a neighbouring street.
I've got my own house and I rarely stay there. I sleep at her house, I sleep at my mum's house and anywhere but that house.
Why don't you want to sleep there?
Because it's just not right.
Does it feel safe or
No, it don't feel safe. It don't feel safe at all.
We heard some stories about houses that are empty being set on fire.
Yeah, that's right. One straight across the road from me, beyond me, no end.
Helen and Gabby echoed what others who didn't wish to appear on camera also told us. A sense of frustration within the community about when, where and if they will be moved. Like the properties here, some feel abandoned amidst the backdrop of urban decay. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North, Goldthorpe.
Well, Phil is here along with Paul Chatterton, a Professor of Urban Futures at the University of Leeds. Phil, Goldthorpe's had a steep decline from being Britain's best street. What's happened?
Well, in the 1970s, Amanda, Goldthorpe had about 4 pits within a short radius, so there was plenty of employment, good wages, skilled jobs. So it was quite a prosperous place and it thrived. The 1984-85 miners' strike, things began to change then. Then a decade later, Goldthorpe, the final colliery in Goldthorpe, closed. That's where the decline may have started. There have been attempts to regenerate the area with new employment opportunities, but they never really replaced the work of the pits and the volume of jobs there. And I think people who we spoke to, they feel a sense of loss and their voices can't really be heard. Many of them rent, of course, those properties, and that means they feel that they're obligated, and if they speak out too much, there could be repercussions.
So what have Barnsley Council had to say?
Well, Barnsley Council tell us it's all part of a £23 million regeneration scheme. A number of the properties, 16 of them, are subject to what are known as CPOs, compulsory purchase orders, meaning the local authority has exercised its right to demolish them or buy them first, then demolish them. In a statement, Barnsley Council told us, and I quote, "The households affected by the final phase 2 proposals will be notified in writing as soon as the approvals and funding have been confirmed." That's expected to be sometime around next summer. Local people were unsure of any timeline. I think they feel they've been a bit left in the dark. The council says, "We know this will have a big impact on people's lives, and our priority is to provide comprehensive support throughout this process."
And Paul, we've seen a huge loss of industry in places like Goldthorpe and other communities. How much of a part does this have to play?
Yeah, sure. And rather than get into some kind of blame game about the people of Goldthorpe, this problem's been brewing for decades, right? So we saw rapid deindustrialisation, loss of industry in the 70s and 80s. We saw 20 years of Thatcherism, this shift of public to private resources. Then we had 15 years of austerity, right, through the 2000s, and we had big crises like 2008, the banking crisis, and then COVID hit us. So no wonder problems are this deep. This has been a problem in the making for several decades.
So what's the solution?
Well, there are several solutions. So we need to restore local authority finances back to what they were a few decades ago. We need a national industrial strategy to regenerate places like this, not in the millions, but in the billions. We need a wealth tax so we can redistribute resources. We need to empower communities. We need a proper community empowerment programme so we can have cooperatives and community businesses that can take control of the regeneration process.
Well, certainly no overnight solutions, but I'm sure there's a story we'll come back to in the future. Thank you both for your time this evening. Next tonight, an operation is underway to remove the wreckage of a helicopter that crashed in Doncaster yesterday. A 70-year-old passenger was killed when the aircraft came down in a field in Bentley. 3 other people were injured. Kathy Killick has sent us this report from the scene.
All the approaches to the crash site here on Ings Road in Bentley have remained closed today, opened only to allow police and air accident vehicles access to the field where the helicopter came down. A low loader was admitted this morning as part of an operation to remove the wreckage, but it is yet to leave the site. South Yorkshire Police and the Air Accidents Investigation Branch are conducting parallel investigations into what happened. They're keen to hear from any witnesses, especially anyone with footage of the helicopter in the minutes leading up to the crash. A 70-year-old man died at the scene despite the efforts of paramedics. The 41-year-old male pilot, a 58-year-old woman and a 10-year-old boy survived with minor injuries. The helicopter had taken off from Retford Gamston Airport around 30 miles from here shortly before 10 o'clock yesterday morning before it crashed into a field at 10:15. An eyewitness who saw the helicopter before it came down said the engine sounded really bad, but no details as to the cause of the crash have yet been released. Kathy Killick, BBC Look North, Doncaster.
You're watching Friday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme. Some potential giant killings this weekend as we look ahead to the FA Cup first round proper. But first, let's have a look at some of the day's other news. And officers investigating a fatal shooting in Sheffield have made 2 more arrests. 32-year-old Qasim Mohammed was shot on Watery Street on the 30th of September. Yesterday, officers arrested an 18-year-old man on suspicion of murder. This follows the arrest of a 30-year-old man also on suspicion of murder on Tuesday. Both men have been bailed while inquiries continue. The King has decided to strip his brother Andrew of his royal titles, including that of the Duke of York. He will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He has continued to face more questions about his private life and links to paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein in recent months, but has always denied any wrongdoing. The independent MP for York Central, Rachel Maskell, welcomed the news today. She has attempted to change the law to allow the King to strip titles and associated privileges from peers.
We've been learning overnight that the Lord Chancellor has been given permission to issue these royal warrants, and of course that will strike Andrew from the peerage role. But ultimately, we know that peers, for instance, have ended up in jail. So I think we need to look at the whole system, and my bill would have enabled people with all forms of peerages, baronets and dukes and princes and princesses to have those titles removed.
Doncaster's new railway training centre will be named the Gresley Institute following a public vote. Network Rail says the centre will eventually train up to 1,000 rail industry staff each year. The institute's name honours the Sir Nigel Gresley, the visionary chief mechanical engineer who designed both the Mallard and Flying Scotsman locomotives. Now, more than £10,000 worth of fireworks have been seized in raids across Yorkshire. Police, trading standards officers and fire service staff carried out 20 visits to different businesses in a joint operation, as well as 350 kilograms of fireworks. The teams also seized illegal cigarettes, vapes and tobacco. The fire service said the operation had helped protect people from the dangers of storing unregulated fireworks. And sticking with that theme, as well as bonfire night approaching, debates around the use of fireworks are sure to ramp up. They're enjoyed by many, of course, but loathed by some people and our pets. Now, one Yorkshire MP has come up with a proposal that could make fireworks quieter by law. Charles Heslett can tell us more.
Buddy the Airedale Terrier has never been the same since a firework exploded next to him on his daily walk. It's why owner Andrew Barton dreads bonfire night.
And about this area, round here somewhere, and we came across the road, as I say, and then the next thing, bang, this rocket hit the fence, and that was it. He's had to have some sedatives for the fireworks, and he's developed a habit of barking at cars, and he's a bit more aggressive than he should be because of this.
Andrew is among many backing his local MP Anna Dixon's campaign to have the decibel noise in fireworks reduced by law. Her email inbox is full of messages from people living in her Shipley constituency whose lives are now blighted all year round.
Of course, we all enjoy some celebrations when we actually use fireworks. This is about all year round disturbance and antisocial use of fireworks. So I'm campaigning to try and get a reduction in the decibel level from 120 decibels, so that is equivalent to a loud rock concert, down to 90 decibels, which in contrast is more like a lawnmower.
But Ehsan Munir, who runs a fireworks shop in Bradford, is sceptical as to whether any law would work or is even wanted.
I can't see many people wanting low noise fireworks. It's just not a thing that people want. Like, our sales are all driven by the fireworks that are louder, sort of, not even just louder, they have the better display on them. If there was a way that they could have them low noise but the display still be great, maybe they would be popular, but most times it's not possible to have it without having the break in the sky.
Almost 3,000 have signed Miss Dixon's petition, which she'll present to Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood at the end of November alongside her private member's bill. All Andrew wants is for Buddy to be back to his old self. Charles Heslett, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Oh, and so do we. Now on to the sport, and Sally is here. What have you got, Sally?
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, well, the FA Cup first round proper kicks off this weekend, and we have an enticing Yorkshire derby on our hands with fifth-tier York City travelling to Oakwell to face League One's Barnsley. Could the Minster men pull off a tyke killing? Paul Ogden looks ahead.
Preparing to tackle League One Barnsley, literally, at York City's loud and lively training session. It's easy to see how their still fairly new manager Stuart Maynard has been inspiring and enthusing his players up to 7th position in the National League since he took over in August.
This is probably one of the only occasions potentially this season that we go into a game as an underdog. I think when we go into games in the National League, we believe that we can win every game we go into. This is a game we believe that we can win. We know that it's going to be really tough, and League One's so competitive when you look at it. There's some humongous football clubs, and Barnsley are one of those in there. They're athletically very good, so we know that we've got to execute our game plan to the max.
In the previous qualifying round, this stunning goal from Alex Newby helped earn York City a tie tomorrow away at Barnsley, who live 2 divisions above themselves but are in patchy form.
There's upsets all the time, so I think it's the kind of competition where you see upsets, you see results that maybe you wouldn't expect, and why not us? Why can't we be the ones to cause that this season?
Exactly the spirit you want from your so-called underdog team, and the same goes for Halifax Town, who happen to be neck and neck with York in the same National League. Halifax have also drawn League One opponents, Exeter City, at home in their case.
The pressure's off, the lads can enjoy the game and express themselves, and yeah, it's just going to be a massive test, but nothing that we're not looking forward to and nothing that we're not prepared for.
If you can't get there in person, the BBC is poised to get the action to you with live text commentary of each match on local radio and BBC Sounds, and on TV there's a highlights roundup on BBC Two on Sunday at 5:45. Paul Ogden, BBC Look North.
Staying with football, and 3 parties have already given the administrators of Sheffield Wednesday proof of funds to the value of £50 million to show they could take over the Championship club. The Owls were placed into administration a week ago, ending Dave Pontoncery's 10-year spell as owner. As a result, they were given a 12-point deduction by the English Football League, but the club's administrators said that this month they'd been able to pay all wages a day earlier than scheduled. The club must remain on the market for at least 28 days before a preferred bidder is selected. 2 Leeds Rhinos players have been added into England's team for the second test against Australia. Callum Watkins and Mikola Jaledski have been named in Sean Wayne's lineup for Saturday. England lost the first test at Wembley by 26 points to 6, making this weekend's game in Liverpool a must-win in the 3-match series. And you can watch it live on BBC One tomorrow from 2 p.m. That's all for your sport for now.
Thank you very much, Sally. Nice dress too.
Pumpkin.
We got the memo. Now, a 9-year-old girl from Leeds who campaigns for more awareness of bowel conditions has been honoured with a national award. Katie had surgery to be fitted with a stoma 18 months ago, and she's inspired other people to talk about their stomas while trying to dispel some of the myths around them. Last night, she was given a British Citizen Youth Award at a ceremony celebrating young people who make Britain a better place. She joined me in the studio earlier with her mum Kelly, and I asked her how she felt about the honour.
I'm really happy that I've been heard and not ignored and pushed away about all my confidence and what I've been saying about disabilities and stomas that's not to be ashamed of, and not all disabilities are visible. I'm really happy that I've been nominated for this amazing award, and I've also been heard a lot.
Absolutely, you're getting that message across about what it's like to have a stoma. And Kelly, just for people at home who don't know what one is, what is it and how does it help Katie?
In Katie's instance, she has a colostomy, so her intestine is cut, but through her stomach and sewn back onto her skin. So where most people go to the toilet out of their bottom, Katie goes from her stomach into, can you show that? Her little bag here. At which point Katie is very capable of changing her own bags and caring for her own stoma, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Katie, you give it a name, don't you? What's it called?
It's called Diamond, because you'd call someone who helped you a lot a diamond or a gem, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would, yep.
That's why I'd call it Diamond, because it helped me.
So tell me about the work that you and Diamond do together in schools, and you've rubbed shoulders with MPs, no less.
It's just like making me feel a lot more better, and it's been making me be able to go in school a lot more and have a better education, because before I couldn't have a good education at all. I'd be in hospital a lot, missing a lot of it, and I'd also get really worried too, because I thought my friends would have someone else to play with and like ignore me and not want to play with me anymore, so I got really worried.
And you've educated your friends too, haven't you? They know all about it.
Yeah, I did a PowerPoint presentation about it, explain about Stoma, what it was like. I put some pictures of me in hospital when I had it, and I've said what I had to do for a couple of days to get actually working.
And Kelly, you must be so proud. Just tell us about the difference that Katie's made already by talking about it.
Katie's always been a confident child, but the more time she was spending in hospital, the more that sparkle Katie has started to dwindle. We've worked tirelessly with the Eric Bowel and Bladder Charity and Colostomy UK, who were absolutely incredible. The work that they do to support people, and Katie's jumped straight on with the likes of promoting stoma-friendly bathroom facilities, raising money for Eric Bowel and Bladder with their summer appeal, because it shouldn't be a taboo subject. You know, at the end of the day, we all go to the toilet. Some people go differently. And for Katie to go out there, pushing her own voice and wanting to do it on her own social media platform has been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us today. And we'll have to just keep following your progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, don't have nightmares. We've gone to lots of expense in the studio tonight to spook you out, because after weeks of pumpkins, skeletons and spooky sweets in the shops, Halloween is finally here. If you're getting ready to go out trick or treating tonight, here's some inspiration. Darren and Jamie Hendelman-Horn from Thurleston set the bar high with their Halloween decorations, with hundreds of people visiting their spine-chilling display, helping to raise money for a local animal sanctuary. And Tom Ingle is there for us now. Tom!
Whatever you're doing, Amanda, it's certainly putting the willies up me. Here we are in Thurleston, where the ley lines are crossing, the ectoplasm is pumping tonight. We have a display that is truly beyond the grave, including these fantastic trick-or-treaters. Say hello, everyone! And we've got Taylor over here, who is doing a brilliant job as a skeleton dinosaur. What is in the bucket, Taylor? That's the important take-home bit.
I've got lots of sweets and a goodie bag from this house.
Very good. I'm sorry, I don't know if we see you there because your mask was coming down. Never mind, I'm sure your parents prefer it that way. Earlier on, we took a bit of a tour and we spoke to some trick-or-treaters. Get ready for a fright.
Creepy doll that head's popped up.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Did it make you jump?
Yeah.
What do you think of Halloween, William?
I like it because
Well, the man who cooks this display up every year joins me now. Darren, first of all, how do you get on with your neighbours? That's my first question.
Fabulously, thank you very much. And we are grateful because they let us use their gardens, so we are really, really chuffed they help us out.
And you've got so many children here having a great time, haven't you?
Yeah.
There must be a lot of magic in this for you.
It is. It does really give me a big buzz. Halloween's really my thing. This is an extension of our Christmas display, which my husband has been and his dad have been doing for over 20 years. As it's got better and as it's evolved, we've decided for the last 3 years we're going to do Halloween as well, and that has worked out fantastically.
We'd better give us some credit to your fella here, because you were telling me he's the man who wires it all up, programs all the lights, because this is a long way from just a little string of bulbs in the wind, isn't it?
And that's exactly how it started. When Jamie started with lights, it was just lights on a wall that might have flashed here and there. It has evolved into great big strings of lights, and now we've got a fully interactive musical display.
You have, and it's bordering between scary, but you were saying you like to keep it fun?
We do, yeah. We prefer prefer spooky as opposed to scary. But so we have a piece over there called a Scary Corner, and we do tell people, do go in, but it's a little bit spookier than what's on the outside.
Is this just a cover to buy lots of sweets as an adult? You can tell me, it's fine. No one's watching.
Yeah, I've got about another 15 bags of Haribo to go. Yeah.
And do you get to eat them all tonight if you don't get enough trick-or-treaters?
Unfortunately, yes.
And then it's just all downhill to playing Father Christmas, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, we do. Well, as soon as this is done, we will start a partial de-rig, and then we'll do our build towards our big Christmas display, which starts on the 28th of November.
Darren, thank you so much indeed for letting us enjoy Halloween with you tonight, and with all your trick-or-treaters here. I've seen a few Draculas, a Darth Vader.
They've done a great job.
They have, haven't they? They've done you proud.
Yeah, the village have turned it out.
I don't know about you, Amanda, but this has certainly got me thinking I could do with a lollipop, so maybe I'll bring you one home.
Oh, please, promises, promises. Thank you very much, Tom. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Absolutely love it. Have you decorated your house, Paul?
No, I'll be going home, turning the lights off and sitting in the back of the house. Thank you very much.
Oh, you misery guts.
Misery guts.
Not even dressed up.
What do you mean?
Where's the outfit?
Right, let's have a look at a couple of pictures now. Sandy might have had something in a tea, but she reckons that tree she's seen in Meltham looks a bit spooky. I'm not so sure about that, but it's a good effort, Sandy. Shibden Park, we saw some sunshine this morning. There wasn't much about, but that's a beautiful part of Halifax. If you've got any pictures you'd like to send to me, send them on Instagram, on Twitter, and the Weather Watcher website, of course. Now, tomorrow, a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers. That's the way of it for much of the weekend. That said, I think fewish showers on Sunday. Many of us will be dry with some sunny spells, but it is an unsettled looking chart. A number of isobars means it's going to be windy. Bands of showers. This afternoon, we've had 1 or 2 thunderstorms, believe it or not. Then early next week, it looks windy, and this feature will bring some rain, especially to western parts of our region. Now, this line of showers that went through South Yorkshire and later York and out towards the coast did have some thunderstorms, some thunder and lightning on it, and there are going to be further lively showers to come through this evening and overnight. That first batch clearing into the North Sea, a clearer gap, and then some really heavy ones coming back in from the southwest. Again, don't be surprised if you hear the odd rumble of thunder. It stays windy. We'll see temperatures coming in at around about 9 or 10 degrees. So tomorrow's high water times in Scarborough, 12:47, Bridlington at just after midnight tonight. So if you live across the Pennines, it'll be showery from the word go, some heavy ones in there. They'll try and push eastwards, but as they do so, they'll become more isolated. And I think really eastern areas won't see many showers. And in fact, during the afternoon, most of them will fizzle out. So an improvement on the way. Saturday afternoon doesn't look too bad, dry and bright with some sunny spells, quite breezy, and we'll see temperatures around 12 or 13 degrees. As for Sunday, not looking too bad. A few scattered showers in the west, but even here they'll be quite isolated. Further east, dry with some sunshine. The best of the weather this weekend will always be towards the coast. Sunday's highs around 13 or 14 degrees. Typically November setup early next week. It looks windy, often cloudy, and there'll be some rain at times, especially in Pennine areas, but it will be mild. That's the forecast, Amanda.
What a soggy night for our trick-or-treaters.
Indeed, that's great news.
It's a
They
bit
can all stay at home.
Oh, you're terrible, terrible. Right, go home and get some sense of humour. That's it from us. Good night.